All right.
So tell me a little bit about kind of the housing issues here in DC.
Well, here in DC, the area median income is $103,500. And on this piece of land that we're now standing on, parcel 42, the mayor wanted to make some affordable housing, 94 units of it, that would be affordable to people making up to 60% of the AMI, or $62,100. Of course, that's not really serving the Shaw community, where the average income is right around $30,000 per year. And so we're asking him to do it in a tiered manner to make this affordable to those making up to 50% of the AMI, or about $50,000, and to have it tiered so that you have certain units set aside for those who make 40% of the AMI on down to about 25% or $25,000. He doesn't want to do that, and then of course you have to have subsidies for the operating cost of the building, because after you build it, of course you have to maintain it, and you have to have employees, to staff it and so forth, and so as you so anyway, as you make it affordable to people who make very low incomes, then you have to find those new subsidies that will support the building. And the mayor is saying that he can't find enough subsidies, and so now he's changed the plan altogether to put condominiums here. And so now we're really upset, and that speaks to the bigger issue of how DC is being gentrified, and we got the wealthy moving in and forcing the poor people out. And that only adds to the complexity of being poor, because Metro keeps increasing its cost. And I spoke to a man who told me he's paid up to $6 to park at a Metro, and then $6 more to actually ride the subway. And so for him to come into the city, he has to pay $12. And so now if you're poor, then you get forced out of the city, you get priced out, and then after you move into the suburbs, then you have to pay so much more in order to ride into the city. And so what you save in lower rent, you end up paying for in transportation. And so it's not easy being poor in the DC metro area. And so the DC, which is the last colony, we don't have full voting rights. We're also one of the most expensive cities to live in, and this city does very little for its poor community, and they're actually decreasing how much they're going to do for the poor. So the poor in the city are in a real bad way, and I'm just wondering when we're going to reach that tipping point where they say enough is enough, and they begin to have a very strong reaction, and to do like they're doing in Greece. Even now they have austerity measures over there, and they're having riots, because of that. And so I'm kind of wondering if it's going to come to the city very soon.
And parcel 42 this is a big issue for this community right here, but it's representative of a much larger issue, right? I mean, this is, sure, we can look at parcel 42, but this is happening all over the city, right?
Yes, it is. It's happening all over the city, but one of the reasons that we chose this piece of land is because it's in a neighborhood that is already low income, and so we thought that it would just make sense to put some affordable housing in an area that's already low income, as opposed to going to some upscale part of town like Georgetown and putting some affordable housing there. And so we thought we were compromising, more or less, or doing the sensible thing, and yet the mayor wants to gentrify even the areas that have been poor areas for 50 years or more.
Has this been a topic that has been discussed in some of the debates and some of the discussions for mayor?
I actually haven't been going to the candidates forums, so I couldn't really speak to that. But on Tuesday, I'm going to go to a mayoral candidates forum, and I'm going to try to get in some words about Parcel 42 and about the need for truly affordable housing, and that forum is actually going to focus on senior housing, and so this year would be a very fitting topic.
What kind of advice can you give someone who's maybe watching this at home and wants to somehow help the work that's being done here, the fight that's being waged, but maybe they don't know how? What can they do? What can someone sitting back watching this on YouTube do?
Well, if a person wants to really help with this cause, well, for one thing, they can come down to the tent city at 7th and R Northwest, and they can make various donations well, in this heat, we always need water and ice and whatever else you can bring to drink, sodas and punch. Then we also have some maintenance costs. You know, we had to fix up the big A-frame behind me. After
the storm today?
Yeah, after the storm we had today, we had to fix up the A-frame. The tents actually held up very surprisingly, but there are other donations that we need. We can always use cash donations, and then besides that, if you want to get involved, you can go to various events such as walkarounds at the Wilson Building, because what sometimes happens is that various activists will do what's called the walkaround, where we go to all the offices of the various council members and the mayor, and we talk to them about our issue. And if the mayor doesn't respond to our request for a meeting very soon, within the next few days, then we're going to be going down to the Wilson Building, and we hope to have plenty of people there to really impress upon the mayor the need for affordable housing, and we might even go to his house at 4712 17th Street Northwest, not far from Rock Creek Park. And so there are various actions that you can get involved in. You can also get involved with various nonprofits such as One DC or Empower DC and other grassroots organizations that deal with this issue.